Okay, this is a problem that I actually struggle with myself for whatever reason, so I just wanted to make a video of it and see if I could get some feedback about ways I could better understand this problem. Okay, so this problem says the price of ground coffee beans is $D for 8 ounces, and each ounce makes C cups of brewed coffee. In terms of C and D, what is the dollar cost of the ground coffee beans required to make 1 cup of brewed coffee? Okay, so one way to solve this is to make up values for D and C. So here I've chosen D to equal $4 and C to equal 2 cups. So we know that the price of ground coffee beans is $D for 8 ounces. So I do think of this as a rate, kind of like a speed. And then I'm trying to get the ounces to cancel. So that's why then I multiply times 1 ounce equaling 2 cups of coffee. So then finally we do get that we get D divided by 8 times C. And this does end up being the right answer, but I find that most of my students are confused by this. So there's a couple of ways that I'm trying to break this problem down and understand it better. So let me show you a couple of those ways. One way that I am trying to understand this better is to figure out how much just 1 ounce of coffee would cost. So for this, you can figure out the actual value. It is all still just plugging in this information, D over 8 times 1 ounce over C. Which gives you the same answer ultimately. I think that the biggest confusion comes into play given that C is not necessarily 1. It could be 1, but it doesn't have to be. That's why I like to make it 2 cups, because I think that is more informative with this particular question. One thing that is good is that this is a multiple choice question, so you can work through process elimination. You know that D gives you 8 ounces, and so your answer should have D over 8, and any answer that doesn't should get thrown out. So therefore you are down to A and B. Here I have a visual trying to break down how much it would cost for just 1 cup. So this is how much it would cost for 2 cups. It would cost 50 cents, which would be the $4 divided by the 8 ounces. Gives you C cups of coffee, where C is 2, so that means 50 cents equals 2 cups. And they want to know the cost of 1 cup of coffee. So that's why the last step for this is to divide by the number of cups also, which makes sense, I think, somewhat in terms of this visual, because here we have that 50 cents gives you 1 ounce, which in my case gives you 2 cups of coffee, which I think is a little more informative than if it gave you 1 cup of coffee, because that helps you see that you need to divide D by the number of cups of coffee in order to figure out what just 1 cup would cost.